on fire today.
Sitting here in the dark, I realized I didn't turn the lights on.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie.
It's sad that this is the world that we live in.
Here, let me stop and tie my shoe right in front of you so you can't drive.
The Podgram.
All of a sudden, I hear...
Well, I don't really care.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
Bust your ass.
Yeah.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the Podgram. Welcome, Christie Finn. We haven't even gotten started yet. Christie Finn is ripping out the hits over there with us in the Facebook live chat. And of course, you got to get a look at this. Let me do a close-up of this because you got to see my wonderful friend, Christie Bush. Good morning, gorgeous. Oh, I got to turn you up. There.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Oh, how are you today? Very good, very good.
I'm good. I'm excited.
Yes. It's an exciting day.
It is. Actually, for me, it really is. Because I'm getting ready to go to Ohio.
Oh.
And I have not been to Ohio in like 10 years.
I haven't been to Ohio for a long, long, long time.
A long time. I haven't been to Ohio in, well, my God, it has been 10 years. Like 10 years too long.
Yeah, it's been, for me, I was a kid. I went to Kings Island. Welcome to Kings Island. No, that's
for most people, it's Cedar Point.
I don't think that was a thing back then, though.
That's like the destination now for most people to Ohio is Cedar Point.
But they don't have that cool mini Eiffel Tower, though.
Well, I know, but I mean, there's all the Hall of Fames in Cleveland, there's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and there's the Football Hall of Fame, and I think there's the Hockey Hall of Fame is there.
So if you're a sports sort of a guy,
feels like I would need at least a week.
Christie was there 2 weeks ago. She says.
But we're going to visit Aunt Boo Boo.
I see. Give me a second.
Sure. So Aunt Boo Boo is my best friend who was in my wedding. She is Amber Johnson. When I was a senior in high school, I was absolutely head over heels in love with her cousin, Jeff. And I was in a love-hate relationship with him for the better part of a couple of years. And the best thing I got out of that whole relationship was her.
I see.
And it was so awesome that my dad said at 18 years old, that girl has her shit more together than some 4-year-olds I've met.
Kings Island does rock. Christie Finn, I'm with you on that, baby. All right. Yeah.
But she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. And she bought a house 10 years ago. And I still have not been out there to see it. And
but then you
feel like a bad friend.
Yeah. Nah.
I haven't physically seen her in 5 years. She came out here to see me after my dad passed.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. And that's Andy's godmother.
Yeah.
So Andy and I, girls trip.
Yeah.
We are taking the train. And we're getting on Amtrak at 9:30 p.m. So this could be a little scary. I'm going to be video documenting.
Are you taking? Is that the train where they can load your car and take your car with you, or no?
No. I'm gonna hop on and take the Lakeshore Express.
Oh, I see.
Straight to Cleveland. So this should be interesting. I'm getting there at 3 a.m. So
wow.
Hopefully they'll keep the murder rate down before I get there.
All the crime will be over. The thugs will be in bed. It'll be good.
I'm hoping.
Yes.
It's dicey in Cleveland at 3 a.m. But
yeah, it's dicey everywhere at 3 a.m.
The price is right. I mean, it was like $100 less for us to travel at that time of the day. And we got to stay an extra day if we did that, because if we left at 9:30, we get there at 3 a.m. on Friday. We go home, we go to bed. We've got all day Friday. Mm-hmm. We're going to be there all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And then we leave at like 5 a.m, 4 a.m, something 5 a.m. on Monday. We get home like 11:30.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you though, why are you taking the train instead of just driving?
Because
how far of a drive is it?
It's a 6.5-hour drive.
Oh, that's nothing.
It's nothing, but I don't like driving that far with a child by myself.
Well, see what you do is you go to Enterprise and you rent a car for the weekend.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's not. I have a very capable vehicle.
Oh, even if I had these days, if I had a brand new car, I would. If I was going on a long trip, I would still rent a car because because what do we learn from the Aztec?
You just don't want to do it to your own car.
Just because it's new doesn't mean it's not going to burn down, 800 miles from home. So,
That's true.
So now I'll rent from Enterprise. They'll pick me up and I can burn their car down. And then when that happens, they have to come pick me up again and bring me something else to drive.
This is true.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I take the train, I get on the train.
But that's cool too. I've never been on a train.
I get off the train.
Yeah.
I don't really know where I'm going in Cleveland. I mean, I've done this trip 100 times. I've gone back and forth to Ohio 100 times when I was younger.
Yeah. Gina Jeffrey's in the chat room over on Facebook Live.
Hey, Gina.
Good morning to you. I am calling from IRS and need your bank account information. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute.
We might as well get to it now.
Let's get to it. Yeah, let's get to it now because
chomping at the bit. You've been chomping for 4 days.
I know, I have, and I keep forgetting. And then this happens, and then that happens. Then Dano calls, and then it's.
Which, by the way, I love it when Dano.
Oh,
calls,
he's funny. He's funny. What's even more funny is when you get off the show.
How long were you two talking after I hung up?
Not long. I think about 2 minutes later, my phone decided to just hang up on him.
No.
And then he called me back and we chatted for a little bit more, and then that was kind of the end of it. But what I want to talk about, I found myself, I very seldom boredom watch videos on YouTube. Very seldom. And I found myself watching videos about the IRS scammers. And we've all heard of the IRS scammers now. I mean, they call you up and they tell you that you've got some delinquent IRS bill account that you need to, pay up. And I've never actually fully listened to the whole spiel, from beginning to end. Because usually
you just know it's BS and you hang up.
It's BS and you hang up, or you just say, yeah, blow it, buddy, whatever. But now I'm
like that one.
Yeah. Now I'm really kind of hoping that they call back.
I don't know where the phone is, but they'll hang up.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of hoping they'll call me again.
Don't mind me.
Because now I know what the spiel is. I know. I'm just totally ignoring you. Matter of fact, I'll just turn. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Now it's just me. Now you can go find your phone.
Well, they hung up.
Yeah. Wasn't important. Anyway, so I'm watching these videos on YouTube about IRS scammers. And what they want you to do is, they first of all, they tell you that that you have a delinquent IRS bill and that uniformed officers are on the way now to your home to pick you up and arrest you and take you into custody.
Yeah.
They're bringing me custard? They're bringing me custard? Holy crap.
Woo-hoo!
Have them bring extra. So we're going to take you into custody right now unless you cannot get off of the phone. You have to go to the Best Buy store in your neighborhood. If you disconnect this call or put me on mute, the police will come and get you and they will kill you. Right on your front grass. They will kill you in front of your children and eat your dog.
Please pull up to second window.
Right. And they want you. So they tell this guy, okay, you're in front of the Family Dollar store. You go to the gift card section and you will buy 3 $500 Google Play gift cards. $500 Google Play gift cards. And when you go to the cash register, you tell the lady when she asks you that they are for your personal use.
Yes, they have to be for your personal use.
So, okay. First of all, the guy doesn't even sound legitimate.
No.
Because the IRS does not talk like this.
No.
At all. On any day.
The IRS does not farm out its calls to India.
I am calling from IRS's. That's your friend. Are you now?
I am calling from S of I's.
S of IR, yes. And we have the uniformed policeman, the sheriff, and the marshal is coming to your house on their horses right now. Will drag you out of your house and beat you in the driveway.
The Canadian Mounties are, oh, sorry, wrong country.
and so, but people fall for this crap. How Can anybody? I'm calling from U.S. Department of Treasury. My badge number is 11-482-6815.
867-5309.
867-5309. Jenny. And it's funny because, like, my name is Mike Jones, and I am calling from. Yeah. Your name is Mike. Yeah. Good morning. Oh, it's Tammy Smith Alsante. We have to have music for Tammy. No, it's too.
We do. No, we've got to find, like, Spanish Armada music for Tammy.
Ooh, Spanish eyes. I have that somewhere.
Yeah.
That would probably constitute copyright infringement. But in any case.
I was with Tammy yesterday, and it's a miracle I don't look like this, like T-Rex hands today.
Why?
Because she had me slave driver, like all but standing there like a nun with a ruler yesterday, filling out wedding invitations. Because I have pretty scripty handwriting.
Do you have a font of your own?
Sort of.
You have a font of your own.
I sort of do.
Yeah.
And she had me writing out wedding invitations. Her stepdaughter, Haley, is getting married.
Oh, very good. Congratulations to Haley. Yeah.
Mark and Haley. They're getting married in September.
That's a good thing. Yes, Christie wants it. And we have to get an entrance song for Christie as well.
We do, but hers needs to be like rock and roll.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, like either AC/DC, kind of, or I was thinking like I've
got a project that I have to do today. I've got to get entrance music for my harem of ladies over on the chat room.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie. Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
All right, it's 12 minutes after right now. We're live. Well, unless you're listening later, and in which case we're not live. But for now, we are. And in the chat room is Chrissy Finn. She was first in there this morning. And then we have Gina was in there. Where'd she go? She's still there? She probably said, morons, I'm not sticking around for that crap. And then we have Tammy Smith of Sante Belgrande is over there. And one day she's going to meet me, and I'm probably going to get clubbed over the head for that. So we're talking about the IRS scammers. And it's not limited to the IRS scammers. They also have, like, computer scammers that will call you.
Oh, I have been getting hammered because my daughter pinged. She was online with something, and she pinged it. And, of course, they know your IP address, so they find. So then all of a sudden, I started getting, your Apple device has sent a signal saying that your device is infected.
Yeah.
We need to discuss this matter with you urgently.
Yes.
Please call us back at.
Yes.
And they call every 5 minutes for hours.
Well, and what they do is they want to, okay, this is what you are doing now. You will go to www.teamviewer.com. Teamviewer.com. Viewer. That is spelled with a V like Victor. And what's funny, there's videos for that on the tube as well. And what you look for one where they get like an IT guy slices the scammer. They outsmart. There's several of them on there actually. One guy was able to erase all of the computers in their call center, completely format and wipe them, because they were stupid and they gave access where they should not have given access. And he, I think what he did was, he, on his desktop, had a folder that said something like financial information. And the representative on TeamViewer opened that up, and it says finances.exe. And then, of course, he pulled it over to his desktop and opened it, and it then gave the guy that was being scammed, the mark, complete access to their entire computer network, where he then injected code, and it deleted Windows off of 32 of their machines. And then he called him back and said, how does it feel to get scammed, you scammer scummer? That's a little paraphrase. And the guy's like, oh, you did not break my computer. My computer worked good. He goes, yeah, try to reboot it, see what happens. because he basically deleted the Windows directory on all the computers. And so that was cool. And it's like, man, I wish I was smart enough to do that. Wish I was smart enough to do that. Tammy loves those calls. They hang up on her and never call back. Yeah, how do you pull that off? So I want to play with a scammer. Maybe if we can get a phone number, we can call one. Because like the IRS scammer that wants the Google Play cards, and it's not just Google Play. Sometimes they want, we will be needing you to pay your taxes with Target gift cards. Because that sounds legit too.
Oh, yeah.
And you cannot tell anybody what these cards are for. This is top secret, eyes only. Yeah. So first of all, just the way you sound doesn't sound suspect at all. Then you're
under
telling
penalty of law.
Yes. Yes, because we would kill you. We know what your dog is.
That's not funny because it was end of last week, I think. Tammy had somebody try to steal her dog out of her yard. She had the cops in her house. She let the dogs outside, and
who let the dogs out?
Some lady she hears the dogs going berserk in the front yard, and she looks outside, and some lady is standing there, and she's got a leash in her hand and one in her back pocket, and she's trying to get a leash on one of her dogs.
Oh, that's funny. That happened to me when I lived in Alabama. I had this American Eskimo, and if you know anything about an American Eskimo, they are high-strung little pains in the asses, what they are, and they don't like nobody.
No.
So I had that dog and a Dalmatian and a coyote in my yard. Now, when I say coyote, this is like 20 pounds. Very small miniature coyote. Cutest thing. That loved chasing the turtle. Couldn't do anything to it, but it chased it, flipped it over, and tried to eat it, but it couldn't do it. And it was all this great big game. This lady comes up with a leash in her hand to try to steal the Eskimo. The Dalmatian charges her and jumps her to the ground. She didn't see the Dalmatian when she opened the gate to try to steal the Eskimo. The Eskimo's up there barking at the because that's what they do. They're like ankle biting yippity yappity dogs, right?
Yeah.
And so she didn't see the Dalmatian around the corner. And as soon as the gate was open, here comes the Dalmatian, big 100-pound Dalmatian, just clopsing it across the yard. And then just I hear this screaming. And I come outside, and the dog's all over this lady. I'm like, come on, Spots, let's go. And so I'm going to sue you. This is the same trailer park I lived in where I shot the landlord in the face with a bottle rocket by accident. Remember that story?
Yeah. And, well, Bill said, you should have let him take them. They're both chipped. We could have found out where she lived.
My dog's got GPS. Well, see, now, I mean, you can't get away with stuff now. There's cameras everywhere. There's GPS everywhere.
She has two dogs. She's got a black lab, Onyx, which is the sweetest dog. Yeah. I love Onyx. Yeah. But then she's got Mater.
I like the Disney character, the truck. Yes. Yeah, I love it.
And Mater is a Chihuahua pug.
Not a Chihuahua. Yeah, she's telling me it's a Chihuahua pug over here in the chat room.
Ankle biting, little
But you know what's funny is that my dog. Go ahead.
Mater will bite. Mater nips.
Yeah.
Mater chalks him up on the wall and high fives after he does it.
Yeah.
I mean, Mater is got anger issues. He's got Napoleon
puppy anger management.
If you look at him and go, I will boot you in the end.
Is he a little dog? Is this a little dog? Well, little dogs are like that.
He's a little pug, so he's got the snout, pushed in like a pug, but, he looks like a pug, but he's a Chihuahua pug. So, he's got anger problems.
Well, since we're talking about dogs. Funny.
I don't think this lady would have been able to get a leash. I would have put $5 on Mater.
That's funny.
He didn't ever been able to get.
She reaches down with the leash. He mows it up into confetti, and it's flying everywhere. But this Dalmatian of mine, they used to hang out underneath the trailer. And this dog, the Dalmatian came exploding out through the underskirting at this lady. So I can see from her perspective how the bottom of the trailer just flies to bits like football players to the paper thing. And here comes this huge dog and jumps. I'm going to sue you. Listen, you came in my yard. You opened the gate to try to. You're not suing anybody. Besides, do you see where I live right here? What are you going to get from me? Look, I paid $4,000 for my house, cash money.
Yeah.
I can walk through the living room and see the ground along the edge between the wall and the floor some places. What do you really think? Anyway, Donald Trump dog, Doodle, had a puppy.
Did he?
No, she. Yes, he did.
Her.
He had a puppy. Yes, he did. Now we're in the Guinness Book of Records. Sorry. She had a puppy. One. That's it.
She's watching her figure. You know.
Well, then the other dog is very curious. And look, Doodle is like 8 pounds, right? And then the other dog that we have is like 20 pounds maybe.
Yeah.
She eats a lot. But every time she comes, Melanie has the puppy and Doodle in this box with a blanket in the bottom, you know, little privacy box, you know, whatever. And every time the other dog comes anywhere near, you hear coming out of the box. So she goes by, and then the other dog looks all nervous, like, "Oh, I wasn't looking at you. I wasn't coming to see you." You know, and then she comes back and it's hilarious to hear that little, 5-pound dog growling. Well, then she decided she had enough of the other dog walking around, and she lunged out of that box and landed on the other dog, and it was a full-on gang war. And it's like we had to jump in and grab them off of each other. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But what kind of dog has one puppy?
It's common with corgis because they have such small cavities because they're so stretched.
They don't have
and littler
much smaller dogs than this. This is a very small.
Well, small breeds tend to have small litters.
I've had hamburgers that weigh more than this dog.
Well, I mean, there's Great Danes that have like 18 puppies at a time.
The Dalmatian. We were somewhere where we had this kid, this little black kid, looked at this and said, "That's a Dalmatian." Damn, that's a Dalmatian. Kid was like, I don't know, 9 or 10. Damn, that's a Dalmatian right there. Yes, sir, it is.
We had this down. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Had 12. Now, the problem was she couldn't pass them on her own.
Oh.
She had to have help. And that means somebody had to reach in there and grab hold and pull them out.
Oh.
Wasn't me. Telling you now, it wasn't me. She birthed 12 puppies in the closet. This is in New York. This is up there in Rome Uterus. In the closet in the apartment. We're just like pulling them out like flop, flop, flop. So.
Like a vending machine, like a Pez dispenser.
Exactly. See, that's why I love you so much.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie. Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
It's 9:24 on what is today's Hump Day? Oh, it's Hump Day. How about that? So we're talking about, well, gosh, I was talking about scammers, and somehow that led into puppy litters. And Tammy's dog, somebody tried to lift Tammy's dog. And so in the chat room this morning, we have Chrissy Finn. We have, let me scroll up here to make sure. Gina says she's still here. Gina Jeffrey, she says, I'm still here. And that was a while ago.
She loves Rottweilers.
Yeah.
Loves Rottweilers.
And then we have, say it with me, Tammy Smith Alessante. Los pollos hermanos. No tengo dinero.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yes. Run for the border. Yeah, Jeff Goen. My buddy Jeff Goen has I don't know what kind of dog it is. It's like 460 pounds. It's pure white and it looks like a pit. It's got pink eyes.
And, probably a bulldog or a pit bull.
Yeah, when you knock on the door and he opens it and the dog that's bigger than him is standing behind him like, yeah, who's this? What you got?
See, Jen and Jim have this big dog. They have, it's Georgia, and she is the sweetest thing. She's gigantic, but she's the sweetest thing. I mean, she's derpy, and sometimes I swear she doesn't have two neurons to rub back and forth, but she's just so derpy and cute and sweet and wonderful. But I mean, there's advantages to having a big dog, and then there's disadvantages to having a big dog. Like Finnegan can't beg at the table because he can't see the top of the table.
But then Jeff's dog can just come along and lick the table and it's all gone.
I mean, Georgia can come and go and stick his chin right on the table. Right. She's just, she's head level. But they have her trained that she doesn't even enter the kitchen when they're eating.
Yeah.
They have her very well trained, but I don't know. She has an affinity for molding, like crown molding, or not crown, but like floor molding. Like she likes to eat it. Nice.
We had a dog that would eat sheetrock, and then the dog had to live outside after that. Yeah.
So she's not allowed to be in the house by herself anymore because, she likes to
I used to be terrified of dogs.
Really?
Yeah, and I remember staying with my aunt and uncle over the summertime up in Pennsylvania, and they had 2 Airedales. Now, these are big, hairy dogs.
Big dogs.
Big dogs. And my uncle knew that I was afraid of them. And he made it a point to try to put me in a position where they were loose and I was outside. And they were very spirited animals. Look, there's somebody I can jump on right there. Of course, I don't think Pennsylvania redneck dogs talk like that, but I think I'm gonna get that one right there. He's been hiding in the window here for a while. Now he's out. It's mine. And then he would make me come out of the house. He would not let me sit in the house. He knew I was terrified of these dogs. And then he would rile the dogs up, wrestle them on the ground and stuff. Where they go, and they look like they're just ready to rip you up. And so that just made it all the worse for me. He's like, yeah, get your ass out here, Tommy. Get out here and play with these dogs. He didn't talk like he was Pennsylvania guy. He didn't talk like that either.
Well, that's why I said he instead of she, is because it's a Pennsylvania Dutch thing that when someone says something, you go, oh, did he? Oh, did you? Oh, are you? Oh, have you? Oh, will you?
We've got a client. But they don't seem to really care if they're off the air. It's okay with them. But my point of contact at this place is like from Minnesota. And maybe Canada, because everything's Minnesota and A. So
it's not far from Canada.
Right. I think he lived like right there. I think their house straddled the line, and half the house was powered by Canadian power grid, the other half was powered by Anyway, so he's funny
even
because
the geese are bilingual.
Right, and so we're migrating south. Step, it's like and he repeats everything you say. Yeah. He repeats everything you say and puts an A at the end of it.
Oh, did you?
Oh, and every sentence starts with oh, off the air for a week. Oh, eh? Okay, well, we just won't come to work then. We'll call this a vacation, eh? Oh, and I could see him. I could see him at the oncologist. Oh, lung cancer, inoperable. Well, okay, all right. I could just see that.
Gonna die.
Death. Okay, casket shopping on Amazon. I could see this guy taking news because nothing bothers him. Look, the moon's going to crash down on the studio today. Oh, the moon. Okay. Oh, okay. See, I'm unintentionally mixing Canada, Minnesota guy with scammer guy. Did you notice that? There was a little Indian in there too. Did you notice that?
A little bit, yeah.
Because I get on one thing, I have single track mind. I cannot change things in the middle.
I know.
And then there's Mike. My name Mike. Yes, this is Mike Jones calling from the IRS.
I know.
Mike, where were you born, buddy? San Francisco. Dallas.
Right. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah. So the scammers. I want to be one of those YouTube guys that catches the scammers.
So I had this random thought.
I'll have it.
The other day.
Yes, indeed.
I had this random thought the other day that if I had a pile of wishes, like useless wishes.
Because, who wants useless wishes?
Like if I had a pile of useless endless wishes, I would use one to hear what my dog's voice actually sounds like.
Oh, yeah, communication thing, yeah.
I would want to know what Finnegan's voice actually sounds like.
Why can you not use your single wish to wish
for more wishes.
Right. Where is it written?
It's like in the Leprechaun bylaws.
Yeah.
I want to see the bylaws. Thank you.
You have one wish. Okay, I want 100 wishes. No. And not only are you not getting that, but you used up your one wish. Sorry, can't help you. Got to go. Yeah.
I wish to see the bylaws. Give me the bylaws.
That's almost like sitting around thinking, what would I do if I won the lottery? If I won, I think I drove by a sign yesterday, and I believe the Powerball thing is up like 116 million. That's the nationwide one, the Powerball. I think it's up to 116 million. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong on that. One of you ladies over in the chat room. Not that I'm calling you gamblers, but you do live near that casino thing. So, the Turning Stone Casino. Lost so much money in that place. But
yeah.
So when it gets up to like hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
That's when I start saying, wonder what I would do if I had hundreds of millions of dollars. And I would like to hear what people would do. So, there's this.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie.
They're still at it.
I'm walking two people talk about nothing.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
9:32 now on the Podgram. It is Hump Day Wednesday. And we'd like for you to call and tell us, what would you do with your lottery winnings if you won $100 million? There was the one time that it was up to like almost $1 billion. It was like 760 something. Yeah. And I'm thinking, you know what I'd do with that? I'd stick it in the bank and I'd live on the interest. Yeah. I think the first thing I would do, I thought about this, because they're going to eat you with taxes no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So what I thought was I would donate it to the fire department conditionally, that they had to keep me on staff doing nothing and pay me $1 million a year as payroll. That way, the fire department gets help. They get money they need to operate over and above what the taxpayers pay. And it gets me out of a bunch of taxes. Yeah. Chrissy Finn started playing the lottery. Need to be loaded and fabulous. Well, you're already fabulous. Now you just need to be loaded. The only thing I have ever won, pay off my house. Chrissy says pay off her house. I would pay off my house, and then I would go find somebody, a family who was needy, and give it to them, and then go live somewhere else. Go get another house.
I think one of the first things I would do is find a representation firm to help me, like, go into obscurity.
See, that's boring. Because everybody.
No, but I mean, I would really, honestly, I would want to be
you have
in obscurity. Because every relative you have is going to come out of the woodwork.
Oh, and then some relatives you don't have, and brothers and friends, and you're going to start getting letters from people you've never heard of in your life who have to have surgery, and they're, And listen, I understand, because I'm the kind of guy, I like to help people. I want to help people. That's why I was in the fire department for 10 years. That's why, if somebody looks like they need help on the side of the road, I'll pull over. Not with my family in the car, but if they look like they need some help, I'll pull over, offer to call somebody, maybe help them out with. I'm all about helping people, but not really to my own detriment. And if everybody who sends you mail after you win a big jackpot like that, if you could help all of them, it'd take every dime you had and then some.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because everybody has a story, and everybody has circumstances, and everybody, I've had problems where I was like, wow, I wish, and I've got a cousin who could probably just stroke out a check and wipe out all my financial problems. I won't call her. Not doing it. Won't call. I have a client who was boasting about their church received a gift of, $200,000 from somebody. Wouldn't ask them. They've offered in the past, hey, if you have any trouble, we can take up a love offering for you, whatever. No, I don't. No.
Nope.
I would ask my parents, but I know they would tell me no, so I wouldn't. I wouldn't ask.
I just wouldn't want to feel beholden to anybody, and I wouldn't want the awkwardness, because once you lend someone money, it always becomes awkward.
Yeah, it does. one of our firefighters was getting his house. It was a repossession. It was a mobile home, and it was on a rented lot. And they were going to repossess it. And he followed me around the fire department for like an hour, just not saying anything. And then finally, when we were by ourselves, he said, "Hey, look, man, can I borrow?" And at the time, I was able to do it. Yeah. Okay, sure, buddy. And listen, when you loan somebody money like that, you have to do it with the expectation you're not getting it back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you pay me back, good on you, but I'm not expecting it. And so what happened was, so I gave him the money, and he came back to me like the next week, and he needed help again. So I helped him again. Man, I promise I'll pay you Friday. This coming Friday, I'm going to get paid, got a new job, this, that, and the other. He never paid me, which, I didn't expect it. But what happened was, he started avoiding me at the department meetings and on the fire scene. He would not come anywhere near me because he just assumed I was going to start, giving him crap about money. And I was like, whatever. And he came to me when I came around the corner. He was there, and he was kind of cornered. He's like, "Man, I'm sorry. I'm going to pay you." I said, "Dude, listen, let me tell you something. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't." I didn't expect that you were going to be able to pay me back anyways. Just glad I was able to help you out, whatever. Now, having said that, so he moved away, and his trailer ended up getting repossessed anyways, and then I bought it, not even knowing it was the same one from the bank, and and I just went and bid on it. I was like, "I'll give you $5,000 for it." Like, okay, sold. He owed still like $30,000 on it, and I bid $5,000. I was like, "Sure, no problem." And so now it's mine, and Mel's mom lives in it. So he moved, and it wasn't 6 months. Well, then I had to kick him out he was living underneath it because he didn't have anywhere else to go. And he started looking in the windows and stuff. And one of our other firefighters said, so-and-so's looking in the windows at your place over there. And I said, well, it's going to be a bad day for him if my mother-in-law sees him, because she'll come out and she'll rip his head off and shit down his neck. She ain't going to take no crap off that dude. So I finally cornered him and said, "Listen, I get that you don't have anywhere to go. You can't sleep under the trailer anymore." He had a little campsite set up down there, and he had like a little fire going underneath there. Like, don't set the freaking thing, if there's anything in there that you left behind that you want, I'm happy to get it for you. But you can't be looking in the windows at my mother-in-law, because if she sees you, it just lights out for you. She will come out and she will kill you and fertilize the garden with you. I'm just telling you right now, she's mean, and that's what she's going to do. But don't let me have this discussion about you looking in the windows again with you. Yeah. I'm sorry you don't. So he disappeared. And it wasn't 2 months later, he was on Facebook. They're building a race car. And
yay.
And he sent me a message asking me if I was still selling two-way radios, because he needed two-way radios. I'm like, how about you, and I didn't say this, but I'm thinking to myself, you're contacting me to buy high-dollar stuff from me. And you borrowed money from me and you never paid me back. Why don't you pay me back before you start asking me to sell you stuff?
Like toys. Not you weren't asking me to buy food. You were asking me to buy toys.
You weren't saying my car broke down and I need a repair. You're building a hobby race car for the local dirt track, and you want two-way radios, which, by the way, most people at the dirt tracks don't have two-way radios in their cars because they just don't. What happened? Did I lose you? Where'd you go? You're frozen in time. All right, so I'm going to put you on hold for a second. And I think we're going to have to disconnect that for a second. And then we'll come back to you. So I'll do that. And then we'll see if we can recall you again. You got to love it. Are we hooking up? What are we doing? I think we lost Christie. No good. In the meantime, though, feel free to give us a call here at the Podgram.
The Podgram with Tom and Christie.
They're still at it.
I'm walking two people talk about nothing.
Join the conversation. 855-PODGRAM.
It is 9:40 right here on the Podgram. 20 minutes until 10 o'clock. In the chat room, we have... oh, no, she disappeared. She's all gone. Okay, so in the chat room, we got Christie Finn, who's still here. Didn't want to put her sister in the situation, so she refuses to ask her. Yeah, see, isn't that weird, though, Christie, how, family members would probably help you? Well, It depends. But you don't want to ask people because it does become weird, doesn't it? And then Tammy Smith, Sante says, but when you start helping people, they are likely to take advantage of you. And that's true. They do that. So I wonder what happened to Christie. Anyway, so what we were talking about was if you won the lottery, if you won all this money and you had to spend it, what would you do with it? And I'd love to hear from one of you ladies over there in the chat room, 855-PODGRAM, because I don't have anybody to play with now because Christie went away. So, having said all of that, what we would like to do is to buy maybe an old hotel or something like that and convert it into an assisted living community for elderly people. And then like make the top floor of it, leave it like a hotel. Okay. It's a phone call. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. How would you spend your lottery winnings?
I would pay my house off first.
Yes.
Then I would put a lot of it in a high return savings type of thing and invest some of it.
Yes.
And then I would get rid of my current home so I could move elsewhere.
Get up out of there. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to be gone from here. If I had the means, that is how I would do it. And then I would worry about my kids and getting them money. I just need to get out of here first.
Right. Well, your priorities are...
Isn't that awful?
No, because here's the thing. Where I live right now, we're here basically because this is what was available and we needed it and the price was right.
Yep.
That's pretty much what there was. Oh, look, and I believe this to be Christie calling on the other line over here. Yeah, it is. It's Christie who's joining us now via the telephone line. What happened to you?
My children have just notified me that the internet is out. There's massive screaming and yelling going on because apparently life ceases to exist when there's no internet.
That's funny.
I feel their pain.
That is funny.
Oh, my God!
Yes.
It's on every channel! Like when the president was on in the 60s. Good God.
60s? No, it wasn't the 60s.
80s.
Yeah. If he's on, he's
no,
on.
in the 60s when the president was on and there was only 3 channels,
well, that
Yeah, that's how it was for me in the 80s. We lived out in the middle of nowhere. I didn't have cable. I had nothing like that.
Yeah.
We had 3 stations.
Yeah. ABC, NBC, and CBS. There was no
CBS.
Fox. Yeah, there was no Fox back in those days. And and that's how it was in the 80s for me, too. I guess where Christie's from, they had cable in the 70s and 80s. We didn't have cable.
No, I have had cable since 1986.
I see.
Oh, my God.
85. 85.
That's about right. That's about right. Because I remember when they came around trying to sell that at my parents' neighborhood. It's like, my parents were like, 27 channels. Why do we need that? We barely watch the 3 we have for free. Why would we pay?
No, where I lived, it wasn't even available.
Yeah.
It was not. I was in the middle of freaking nowhere. I was. Seriously, I lived on a hill that was on a big hill.
Yeah.
And I lived right on top of it.
Yeah.
And we had this huge antenna. Huge. I mean, it was like bigger than our house.
Yeah.
Sticking up from the top of this hill.
Yes.
So we would get weird channels that would just happen to catch broadcasting, but you had to go through that dial.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
You had to put it on channel like 2 or 3, and that accessed the antenna.
Yeah.
And then or 20, maybe it was channel 20. But then you turn the other knob, and it went through all these minute channels that you might catch. So we could probably pull in about 12 stations altogether.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And now...
And that was it. I mean, there was no MTV.
Right.
Which was king, and I wanted that so bad.
Yeah, because you of all people, I mean, you seem like a Nina Blackwood kind of an MTV girl to me.
Oh, I loved her. Yes.
Yeah, she's on satellite now. She's on XM Satellite. I listen on the 80s channel.
She is.
And
I love her.
I don't have XM.
I have it only because
I
I installed a stereo in the B2 van. and it came with an XM satellite receiver bundle with it. I'm on my free trial, and
that's cool.
Yeah, and the 80s channel, Nina Blackwood is on there quite, but she sounds like she's got severe COPD now.
Oh,
She probably
yeah.
does.
Yeah, she sounds.
Everybody smoked like a chimney back then.
Well, I know she's Nina Blackwood on the XM 80s on 8.
Yeah.
And she breathes like Darth Vader on number 2 on her. And they do a countdown show. Number 2 on our server. And, some of the original VJs are dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they've got her and they've got a couple of the guys. There was a couple of the guys.
Adam Curry?
No, they don't have him. They have,
They have
They used
Mark,
to make fun of his hair.
Mark, somebody.
Yeah, but anyway, and he's like, he ends his show with, peace and progress, everybody. It's funny because when I worked in broadcast radio on the air, everybody that worked on the air seemed to have like the last thing they said every day. They had to have their I don't want to call it a catchphrase. But
that's what it is.
Yeah, but it was something that they said it at the end of the show, like my buddy Zilla. Thanks a lot for listening to my show. I got to go get the hell out of here. That was his thing.
Yep.
But then everybody, whatever this guy's name is on the 80s thing, the old VJ's like peace and progress. That's his thing. Peace and progress.
Oh, boy.
It's like live long and
I could
prosper.
probably picture the guy. Was he the guy with the big, dark, curly hair?
Yeah, probably.
That's who it sounds like it would be.
See, now I have to look it up.
Yep.
Now I have to
We
look.
have a common saying around here. Now, what the hell's her name? She played Molly on Mike and Molly.
Yeah. I hate what they did to her,
What the hell's...
by the way.
Yeah, me too. But she was recently in a movie. It just came out of the theaters, and I can't remember what it is, but she goes back to school.
Yeah.
And one of the clips.
McCarthy.
What's that?
Melissa McCarthy.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
She was walking through campus with her daughter in this clip, and she was talking about her vagina and how do you Google that. She called her vagina a Google, and she nicknamed it Google, which made me just about pee my pants.
Yeah.
I thought that was so freaking funny. So that's been our phrase lately. Google that shit.
Okay, so
Figure it out.
So Nina Blackwood, Mark Goodman, and Alan Hunter are the
Alan Hunter. He was the skinny one with the short blonde hair.
Yeah. Now, what's funny is I'm looking on Google here, and the pictures of the guys are like current pictures, but like the picture of Nina Blackwood you can tell it's from the 80s. They
I wonder what she looks like now.
Because she probably looks like 5 miles of bad road now. If she looks anything like she sounds, it's awful. And she says like she's and number 3 on our server, and it's just terrible.
Sorry. That is awful.
So what happened to Martha Quinn? Did she die, or somebody died? That was J.J. Jackson. I think J.J. Jackson died. He was an original MTV.
I just recently heard about Martha Quinn somewhere.
Yeah.
What was it? I don't remember.
Martha Conrad Quinn, actress and television personality, best known for one of the original video jockeys on MTV. So let's go to the Wikipedia page, because you know what? Why not? She was born in 59, so she is 59. How about that?
Yeah, she's 10 years older than I am.
Yeah, so it doesn't say anything here about her dying.
There would definitely be something there about it.
Yeah, maybe I'm pushing her in the grave a little before the fact. Maybe that's. But I think J.J. Jackson. I'm pretty sure he died.
I don't even remember that guy.
Yeah.
I'd have to see a picture. I'll look him up after I get off the phone.
We'll Google him and find out. That's how bad is it? Our a technical glitch blew us into tailspin, and now we're Googling MTV VJs on the show.
Well, speaking of satellite radio.
Yes.
My new obsession on satellite radio, it's called Yacht Rock.
Yeah.
It's channel
Yacht
70.
Rock?
Huh.
And it is so awesome. It's all the best songs from the 70s and 80s.
Oh, cool.
Holy crap.
I'll have to
Like,
look for
I
that.
get in the car.
I might
and the
really
kids
get that.
It is phenomenal.
Let me tell you, now, are you guys, because you bought a car that had a satellite receiver in it not too long ago. The Vinny, I think you call him.
Yeah.
Now, are you on the trial? Did they give you a trial? Or did you actually subscribe already?
I did subscribe.
Okay, here's what you do, because it's like $15 a month, and here's how you get it for cheap. I'm gonna let
I did get it. I followed your method.
Okay, all right. And for those who don't know how to do this, because I just brought it up, what you do is, now, did they give you a free trial to begin with?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then they started sending you stuff in the mail. Oh, you're going to lose your satellite radio, blibbity, blibbity, blibbity. And then you call them and say, yeah, it sucks. I don't want it. And they're like, oh, well, because what they want is they want $15 a month for it.
Right.
And it's like, and so you give them like brick wall, you stonewall them with things like, I got a USB stick with all my faves on it. What do I need you for? The sound quality kind of sucks. The signal drops out. Well, we can reset you. I still don't listen to it. And you give them all these reasons why you don't want it. And well, what if we did it for $8 a month? I still don't think I want to do it. And then so their final offer goes down to, well, how about like $15 for 6 months, or $30 for 6 months, or whatever it is. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do that, sure. And then you sign up, but you got to give them a credit card, right? You got to pay with like a credit or debit card, and then you call back the next day, and you say, take my debit card off of my account. I don't want it auto renewing. I just take it off. And so then they'll say, well, it'll cost you $2 extra next time because we have to send you something in the mail. No, it won't, because their retention department knows nobody's going to, nobody wants. If you're not willing to pay, they'll sell it to you for whatever you're willing to pay. And so the downside of that is, here's the caveat, that every 6 months you have to call up and haggle with them in order to keep your service. There's hoops you have to jump through. I wish that they would say, listen, just give me this $30 for 6 months forever, and I'll stay a customer. Don't try to jerk me around in 6 months when it's over with and try to, okay, it's I got a bill for $15 a month, and they wanted me to pay royalty fees. No.
What does that mean?
Well, like radio stations have to pay royalty fees. They have to pay licensing to use the copyrighted material of the music they're playing. And they have to do that every year. They got to pay ASCAP and BMI and CSAC and everybody else. And so, but radio stations just suck it up because it's part of what they have to do. But Sirius XM tries to pass that on to you. It's not your responsibility to, just like if you go into a bar that has like mobile DJs or a jukebox, you'll see like an ASCAP sticker on the front door or on the front window because they have to pay licensing to play that music, that jukebox in there playing copyrighted music to the customers. They have to pay licensing for that. Yeah. And so like if I go in as a mobile DJ to do karaoke night or something, I don't have to pay anything for that because the venue is supposed to be covered for that. And if they're not, then I have to say, I'm sorry, I can't perform here because you're not licensed to, copyrighted, blah, 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 whatever. So, so good times on that. But, yeah, so they try to pass that on to you. It's like, oh, we need you to pay like $18 in royalty fee. No, I'm not paying for that. You're providing a service to me. You're charging me for the service. It's up to you to pay your own royalties.
That is correct.
Whatever the cost is, for you to produce the product that you're sending to me, that's on you. That's not my problem, So they try to, you haggle with them. And XM, what's funny is you can call them and they'll give you a free receiver just as long as you pay for some kind of service. They'll give you, here's your satellite XM.
Yeah, they did offer.
And
they did offer.
And you can get it on your Amazon Alexa. You can do live stream.
Really?
Yeah, you can buy the streaming package on your Amazon Alexa. Yeah. And there's an app for the smartphone for it. Yeah. So you can stream it over your Amazon thing. And I don't think they try to charge you as much for that as they do for the over the air satellite package. But you can, it's like, well, I want to try it out and let them and try it for 6 months or whatever. But don't let them keep the trick is don't let them keep your credit card because they'll just auto bill you the next time. But if they don't have your credit card, well, they still want you as a customer. So they're going to start contacting you and sending you mail.
Yeah.
And that's when you say, yeah, you guys suck. I don't want it. Just turn it off. You guys blow hairy goats. I don't want your crap. And then, well, what if we do this? Nah, I don't want that. But what if we do this? No, I don't think so. You guys still suck. What if we buy you breakfast and bring it to you in bed, and then we,
Yes.
and we groom your dog, give you a pedicure. I mean, what do you got to do? And it's almost used car dealery. So what do we got to do to get you in this car today? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's it going to take to earn your business? How about if we pay you $15 a month to just keep the service?
Cool.
Yeah. They want to sell it at any cost, and I think their bargain basement price is like $30 for 6 months. I think that's as low as they're going to go. But,
okay.
And again,
the
downside of it is you have to haggle for it every 6 months. Yeah. As long as you're willing to do that, because I listen to it all the time. So I listen to when I'm in the van. Now I was listening to the 70s on 7 the other day. Man, they were cranking out the power hits. They were rocking the joint. They were playing the doobies, and they were playing. They were ripping it out. And then they started playing like crap like Sad Eyes, and he's like, no, gotta go.
I like the classic rewind channel too.
Oh, see, I haven't really explored outside of my comfort. I got the 70s on 7, the 80s on 8, 90s on 9, Pop 2K, country, Prime Country, and Joel Osteen, the Joel Osteen channel. And you're thinking the Joel Osteen channel, is that like the Jesus channel? It is. If you've never listened to Joel Osteen, I saw him. My mother-in-law was watching him on late night TV one time. He was on one of the cable channels, and I'm looking at him thinking, what? Another televangelist scammer. And that's kind of what I thought of him. Only this guy's like really young looking. He's not like Swaggart that's like 114 years old. This guy's really young looking. And I came across the Joel Osteen channel, and I listened and was like, hey, this guy's really inspirational. This is pretty cool. And so I listened, and I actually enjoy listening to him now. So, if you're ever feeling like you're going to hell or something, you can always hop on over to channel 128, the Joel Osteen channel. I think it's 128. Yeah.
No, the classic rewind is great too. It's a lot of the B side of some of the more popular records, and I like it.
Yeah, and they've got a couple of stand-up comedy channels too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like stand-up comedy a lot, but I probably should not listen to that if I'm driving.
Some of them really suck.
I'm not kidding. I'm spacey. If I get laughing, I'll get laughing so freaking hard. I'm gonna have to pull over anyway.
Yeah.
So I really can't.
Which is not pretty either.
Yeah, some of the stand-up comics they have on there kind of suck, to be honest.
Oh.
But now you'll get like Louis Anderson will show up on there, and then you'll get.
I love Louis Anderson.
Yeah. You got.
I miss all those guys.
Oh, I know.
Back in the day, Eddie Murphy. Oh my God.
Now, what I don't like about the Comedy Channel is that they play like maybe a 5-minute clip of one of their concerts.
Yeah.
It's not the whole hour, however long the thing is. It's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they move on to something else. And then sometimes they'll play like a Weird Al Yankovic, one of those songs he did.
I love him too.
Yeah, I like his song eBay. That's so funny. To the Backstreet Boys.
I don't know if I've heard that.
Oh, well, you'll have to. I'll have to after the show's over. I'll have to.
I can go find it. Yeah, I can go find it. I have Amazon.
I got Google. I don't need your ass, man.
Google. I have Google.
I have the big G. That's what I got. That's how we found Nina Black. Boy, I'll tell you what. When you look at a picture of Nina Blackwood from back in the day, she was pretty, 80s hot.
Yeah.
Now she's probably, she probably never gets out of her nightgown, probably weighs, 600 pounds on the hoof and sits there smoking cigarettes at the kitchen table.
Oh, I heard a good one the other day. It was a biscuit off 350.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was it? I didn't hear it.
A biscuit off 350.
That's too much.
A biscuit off 350.
That is too much.
That's awesome.
Oh, man. That is crazy stuff. Well, guys, hang on a second because the music is starting here. So I'll get back to you guys in just a second. That wraps up our show for today. Even with the technical glitches, we still pulled it off. I don't know what it is, but when Christie disappears, I'm like, oh, crap, now I got to stop the show because I just can't do it by myself because I get lonely up in here. But anyway, thanks for joining us, and have a great day. We'll see you really soon. It's the Podgram.
The Podgram, copyright 2018. Big Tower Media. So don't be stealing our stuff.